I saw her at 2:47 a.m., standing in my backyard, barefoot, wearing a torn nightgown, blood on her hands, staring at my bedroom window. I froze, phone in hand, every instinct screaming to call 911. Then she raised one finger to her lips, shh, and pointed at the house next door. My neighbor's house. The house where David Chen had lived alone for 6 months. The house with curtains always drawn, door always locked. The man I'd never actually seen leave. The woman took 3 steps toward my window. Her face came into the porch light. I stopped breathing. I knew that face. I'd seen it on missing person posters 6 years ago, on the news, on memorial pages. The woman who was declared dead in 2020 after 3 years of searching was standing in my yard, covered in blood, pointing at my neighbor's house. She mouthed 3 words, "Help me, please." Then a light flicked on in David Chen's house. Melissa's eyes went wide with terror. She turned and ran, not toward the street, not toward freedom, back toward Chen's house, toward the basement door I'd never seen open. The door opened from inside. A man's silhouette filled the frame. Melissa stumbled, fell to her knees, and the man grabbed her by the hair and dragged her inside. The door slammed shut. Darkness. Silence. Like nothing had happened. Like I'd imagined the whole thing. Except I hadn't. I sat in my bed, shaking, phone in my hand, trying to make sense of what I'd just seen. Melissa Garrett had disappeared in July 2018, vanished from a parking lot in Portland. Massive search, FBI involvement, her parents on every news channel begging for information. After 3 years with no leads, she was declared legally dead in 2020. Her memorial service had been last year. I'd driven past the church, seen the crowds, the flowers, the grief. And now she was in my neighbor's basement, being held by David Chen for 6 years. My hands shook so badly I could barely hold my phone. I pulled up the photos I'd taken when Chen first moved in 6 months ago. I'd been suspicious then. Something about him felt wrong. The way he never made eye contact, the way he unloaded boxes only at night, the way he'd installed new locks on every door, including the basement. I'd taken pictures, documented everything, told myself I was being paranoid. Now I pulled up those photos and zoomed in on one. Chen carrying boxes into the basement, and in the dark window behind him, a face. A woman's face, pale and hollow, pressed against the glass. I'd thought it was a reflection, a trick of light. It was Melissa. She'd been there since day one. For 6 months, I'd been living 30 feet away from a woman being held captive, and I'd done nothing. I grabbed my laptop and started searching. David Chen, Portland, nothing. David Chen, missing person, nothing. David Chen, criminal record, nothing. The man had no digital footprint, no social media, no public records. It was like he didn't exist before 6 months ago. I tried reverse image search on the photos I'd taken of David Chen. No matches. Whoever David Chen was, it wasn't his real name. My phone buzzed. Text from my sister. "You awake?" I called her immediately. "Emma, I need you to listen to me and not think I'm crazy." "Oh God, what happened?" "I just saw Melissa Garrett in my backyard." Silence. Then, "The woman who disappeared in 2018? Sarah, she's dead." "She's not dead. She's alive. My neighbor is keeping her in his basement. I saw her. She was covered in blood, Emma. She ran back into his house because he dragged her inside." "Sarah, are you sure you weren't dreaming?" "I'm sure." My voice cracked. "I saw her face. I have photos of her in the window from 6 months ago. Emma, she's been there the whole time, and I didn't know." Emma was quiet. She knew me well enough to know I wasn't hysterical.
I was a crime analyst for the Portland PD. I'd spent 10 years evaluating evidence, building cases. I didn't make wild accusations. "Okay," she said carefully. "What do you need me to do?" "I need you to run David Chen through every database you can access. I need to know who he really is, and I need you to pull the Melissa Garrett case file. Everything. I'm going to call Detective Morrison." "Sarek, if this is real, if you're right, you're in danger. You need to get out of that house." "I can't leave her there."
"Then call 911 right now. And tell them what? That I saw a dead woman in my yard at 3 a.m.? They'll think I'm drunk or crazy. I need evidence first, something concrete. Then I'll call. Promise me you'll be careful." "I promise." I hung up and pulled up Detective Rachel Morrison's number. She'd worked the Melissa Garrett case, had been the lead investigator when the FBI pulled out. The call went to voicemail. "You've reached Detective Morrison. Leave a message." "Rachel, it's Sarah Chen from the crime lab. I need you to call me immediately. It's about Melissa Garrett. She's alive. She's being held captive in the house next to mine at 4782 Maple Street. The man holding her is using the name David Chen, but it's fake. Call me back, please." I hung up and stared at my neighbor's house through my bedroom window. Every light was off now, silent, normal. Like a woman wasn't being tortured in the basement. My phone buzzed. "Emma, David Chen has no records in any system, no birth certificate, no SSN, no driver's license, no credit history. The name is completely fabricated." "Me. What about property records? Who owns that house?" "Emma. Checking. Okay, property is owned by Pacific Northwest Holdings, LLC, shell company, registered in Delaware, can't trace actual owner without a warrant." "Me. Melissa's case file." "Emma. Sending now. Sarah, there's something you need to see." A PDF appeared on my phone. I opened it. "Melissa Garrett, case file number 2018-4721. I scrolled through pages of investigation notes, witness statements, search records. Then I found it. A witness statement from July 15, 2018, 3 days before Melissa disappeared. Witness reports seeing the victim having an argument with an unidentified male outside Starbucks on Morrison Street. Male approximately 6'2", dark hair, Asian descent, late 30s. Melissa appeared distressed. Male grabbed her arm. Witness intervened. Male left the scene. Witness unable to provide further description. I pulled up my photos of David Chen. 6'2", dark hair, Asian descent, late 30s. My neighbor had been in contact with Melissa 3 days before she vanished, and nobody had ever identified him. I texted Emma. "It's him. Chen was the unidentified male who argued with Melissa before she disappeared. Pull traffic cameras from Morrison Street, July 12th to 15th, 2018. See if you can get a plate number." Emma. "That's 6 years ago. Cameras might not have records anymore." Me. "Try." I needed more evidence, something the police couldn't ignore. I looked at Chen's house, dark, silent, locked down, and I made a decision that would either save Melissa Garrett or get me killed. I was going inside that house. At 4:30 a.m., I dressed in black, grabbed my phone, a flashlight, and the lockpick set I'd confiscated from evidence 3 years ago. Never returned it, told myself it might be useful someday. Today was someday. I slipped out my back door and crossed the yard to Chen's property. The basement door where he dragged Melissa was around the side of the house, hidden from the street by overgrown bushes. I knelt beside it and examined the lock. Commercial grade, new, expensive. This was a lock designed to keep people in, not out. I used the pick set, hands steady despite my racing heart. Took 4 minutes. The lock clicked open. I pulled the door open slowly. Hinges silent, recently oiled. Inside, darkness, stairs leading down, the smell of bleach and something else, something metallic. Blood. I turned on my flashlight, kept it low, and descended the stairs. The basement was finished, drywall, carpet, recessed lighting, currently off. It looked normal, like a guest room. Except for the chain. Heavy steel chain bolted to the wall, leading to a door.
a door with 4 deadbolts on the outside. Someone was locked inside that room. I crossed the basement, my footsteps silent on the carpet, and pressed my ear against the door. Breathing. Shallow, rapid breathing. "Melissa," I whispered. The breathing stopped. "Melissa Garrett, my name is Sarah. I live next door. I saw you in my yard. I'm here to help you." Silence. Then a voice, hoarse for disuse. "He'll hear you." "Where is he?" "Upstairs, sleeping. That's when he always sleeps, 4 to 7 a.m. That's when I tried to run. That's why I have the chain now."
I looked at the deadbolts. "I can get you out. I can pick these locks." "No." Her voice was sharp. "If you open this door, the alarm goes off. He'll know. He'll kill us both." "What alarm?" "The deadbolts are connected to a system. If they're unlocked without the code, it triggers. He put it in after I tried to escape last year." My mind raced. "Then how do I get you out?" "You don't. You leave, you call the police, you tell them everything, but you don't open this door." "I'm not leaving you." "Yes, you are." Her voice rose, then dropped to a desperate whisper. "Sarah, listen to me. I've been here 6 years. 6 years! I've tried everything. Every escape plan, every manipulation, every trick. He's smarter than both of us. The only way you save me is by getting the police here with a warrant. Do you understand?" "How many others?" The question came out before I could stop it. Silence. "Melissa, how many other women has he kept down here?" 3. Her voice broke. 3 before me. He told me about them, showed me pictures. They're all buried in the woods behind the property. He said if I don't behave, I'll join them. My legs nearly gave out. 3 dead women, 3 murders, all buried on the property next to mine. What's his real name? I don't know. He never told me. But Sarah, her voice turned urgent, there's something else, something you need to know. He's not working alone. What? He has a partner, a woman. She comes every few weeks, brings supplies, helps me move when he relocates. I heard them talking last month. They're planning to move again soon, maybe this week. If they move me, you'll never find me. Who is she? I don't know her name, but I've seen her. Blonde, mid-40s, drives a silver Lexus. Footsteps above us. Heavy footsteps on the floor directly overhead. Melissa's breathing stopped. He's awake. Go, now! I'm not. Go! Her whisper was a command. If he finds you here, we're both dead. Go! The footsteps moved toward the basement stairs. I ran. Across the basement, up the exterior stairs, out into the pre-dawn darkness, pulled the door shut behind me, heard the lock click just as the basement lights inside flicked on. I pressed myself against the side of the house, heart hammering. Through the narrow basement window, I could see a man's legs descending the interior stairs. Chen. He walked to Melissa's door. I heard deadbolts sliding open. The alarm didn't sound. He must have entered the code. The door opened. "Did you have a nightmare?" His voice was gentle, caring, like a husband worried about his wife. "Yes, I'm sorry I woke you." "It's okay. I brought you breakfast. Eat, then we'll talk about tomorrow. Big day tomorrow." "What's tomorrow?" "We're leaving, going somewhere new, somewhere nobody will ever find us." The door closed. Deadbolts slid back into place. I waited until Chen's footsteps retreated upstairs. Then I ran back to my house. Inside, I locked every door, closed every curtain, and called Detective Morrison again. This time she answered. "Sarah, it's 5 a.m. What?" "Melissa Garrett is alive. She's being held in the basement of 4782 Maple Street by a man calling himself David Chen. He's kept her there for 6 years. He's planning to move her tomorrow. There are 3 other victims buried on the property. He has a female accomplice. You need to get here now with a warrant." "Sarah, I know you're thorough. I know you don't make wild claims. But Melissa Garrett is legally dead. If I go to a judge with this..." "I saw her. I talked to her. She gave me details only the real Melissa would know. Rachel, she's running out of time. He's moving her tomorrow." "Can you get me proof? Photos? Recordings? Anything?" I thought about the basement, the chain, the door, the alarm system.
The house is locked down. Advanced security. If I go back, he'll know. But I have photos from 6 months ago showing a face in the basement window. I can send them. That's not enough for a warrant. I need something concrete, something that proves a knock on my door.
I froze. Sarah? Morrison's voice in my ear. Another knock. Harder. I walked to the door, looked through the peephole. David Chen stood on my porch, smiling. Sarah, who's at your door? I whispered into the phone. It's him. Chen is at my door. Don't open it. I'm sending units now. Stay on the line. Another knock. Sarah Chen? His voice was friendly, normal. It's David from next door. Sorry to bother you so early. I heard some noise in my yard and I wanted to make sure everything was okay. Did you see anything unusual last night? My blood turned to ice. He knew. He knew I'd been in his basement. Sarah, answer him. Act normal. Units are 8 minutes out. I opened the door, kept the chain lock on. Hi, David. No, I didn't hear anything. I was asleep. His smile didn't reach his eyes. Really? Because I could have sworn I saw someone in my yard around 4:30 a.m. Someone about your height, wearing black. Not me. Maybe it was an animal. He leaned closer. The thing is, Sarah, my basement door lock was picked, very professionally picked. And you work for Portland PD's crime lab, don't you? You'd know how to pick a lock. I have no idea what you're talking about. I also found this. He held up my phone charm, the small silver cat that had been attached to my keychain. Must have fallen off when I was picking his lock. My cat ran away a few weeks ago. Must have dropped that looking for her. Chen's smile vanished. Let me be very clear, Sarah. I don't know what you think you saw or heard, but you're making a serious mistake. If you contact the police, if you tell anyone your insane theories, I will sue you for harassment, defamation, and breaking and entering. I have cameras. I have evidence of you trespassing. Do you understand me? Perfectly. Good. Stay away from my property, stay away from me, and maybe consider moving. This neighborhood isn't safe for nosy women who don't mind their own business. He walked away. I closed the door, locked it, slid down to the floor. Sarah, Morrison's voice, units are 6 minutes out. Are you okay? He's going to move her. Today. Right now. He knows I'm on to him. Rachel, if those units don't get here in the next 6 minutes, Melissa Garrett disappears forever. They're coming, I promise. Sarah, does Chen have weapons? I don't know. Assume yes. Is Melissa mobile? Can she walk? She's chained to a wall in the basement. He'll have to unchain her to move her. That's our window. Okay, I need you to watch his house. If he tries to leave, call 911 immediately. Do not engage. Do you understand? Yes. 4 minutes out. I moved to my window, watched Chen's house. Lights were on now, movement inside. Then the garage door opened. A van backed out. White cargo van, no windows in the back. Chen was in the driver's seat. He was running. He's leaving, I shouted into the phone. White cargo van, no plates visible, heading south on Maple Street. Units are 2 minutes out, they'll intercept. I ran outside, got in my car, started the engine. Sarah, no, don't follow him. If I lose him, we lose Melissa. I threw my car into gear and followed the van. Chen drove fast, but not recklessly, headed toward the highway. Sarah, where are you? Morrison's voice. Southbound on Maple, approaching Highway 26. He's going to run. Rachel, he's going to disappear with her. Units are converging. Stay back. Do not engage. The van merged onto the highway. I followed, keeping 2 cars between us. My phone buzzed. Text from Emma. Found the traffic cam footage from 2018. You're not going to believe this. She sent an image. July 14th, 2018, Morrison Street, traffic camera. A white cargo van, same model as Chen's, license plate visible, 7KJB842. And standing beside it, Melissa Garrett and David Chen. She was getting into the van willingly. Emma's text.
That plate is registered to Marcus Webb, reported stolen August 2018, 1 month after Melissa disappeared. Sarah, Chen's real name might be Marcus Webb. I texted back while driving. Run Marcus Webb criminal history. Emma. Already did. Marcus Webb died in 2003. This is a stolen identity. Whoever Chen really was, he'd been using dead people's names for decades. Ahead, the van took an exit, heading toward rural highway, toward the woods. He's going to the burial site, I said into the phone. Rachel, he's going to kill her and bury her with the others. Units are 30 seconds behind you. Sarah, please slow down. The van suddenly accelerated. Chen had spotted me. He knew I was following. The van's driver door opened. Chen stepped out, holding a gun. He walked toward my car, weapon raised, face calm. Get out, he said. Police are 30 seconds behind me. Get out. I opened my door slowly, hands visible, phone still connected to Morrison. Rachel, he has a gun. We're on Forest Road 39, approximately 2 miles from the highway. Chen smiled. Brave of you. Stupid, but brave. You could have just stayed home, could have minded your business, but no, you had to play hero. Where is she? In the van. Unconscious. I sedated her when I realized you'd been in my basement. Couldn't have her screaming during transport. The police are not here yet. He cocked the gun. And by the time they arrive, you'll be dead and I'll be gone. There's a second vehicle a mile from here. Different identity, different plates. I'll vanish. Again. Like I always do. How many? I asked. How many women have you killed? He considered. Melissa will be number 8. You'll be number 9. I started in 1995. 30 years. Never caught, never even suspected. Do you know why? You kill women nobody looks for. Wrong. He smiled. I kill women everybody looks for. Missing person cases get media attention, public sympathy, massive searches. And then, after 3 years of nothing, they're declared legally dead and everyone moves on. The perfect victims, famous for disappearing, forgotten in death.
Sirens in the distance. Chen heard them too. Sounds like we're out of time. He raised the gun, aimed at my chest. A gunshot split the air. But not from Chen's gun. Chen staggered, looked down at the red blooms spreading across his shoulder, then collapsed. Behind him stood Detective Morrison, service weapon drawn, 3 uniformed officers flanking her. "Drop the weapon!" Morrison shouted. Chen's gun fell from his hand. Officers swarmed him, cuffed him, called for medical. Morrison ran to me. "Are you hit?" "No. Melissa's in the van. Unconscious." He sedated her. We ran to the van, threw open the back doors. Melissa Garrett lay on a bare mattress, wrists and ankles zip-tied, breathing shallow but steady. She was alive. "Get paramedics here now!" Morrison shouted. I climbed into the van, knelt beside Melissa, took her hand. "Melissa, you're safe. You're safe now." Her eyes fluttered open, focused on me. "Sarah?" she whispered. "Yeah, it's me. It's over. You're going home." The trial was the biggest in Portland history. David Chen, real name Marcus Webb, no relation to the dead Marcus Webb whose identity he'd stolen, was actually Robert James Kern, a former real estate agent from Seattle who'd been operating under false identities since 1994. The FBI found remains of 7 women buried on the property next to mine. 7 women who'd been declared dead years ago. 7 families who finally got answers. Melissa testified. Strong, clear, devastating. The Kern got 8 consecutive life sentences without parole. The female accomplice was never found. Melissa's description matched dozens of women. The silver Lexus was never located. Whoever she was, she disappeared completely. I sold my house. Couldn't live there anymore. Couldn't look at that property knowing what had been buried there. Melissa and I stayed in touch. She's in therapy, rebuilding her life, trying to remember who she was before 6 years of captivity. Last week we met for coffee. "I never thanked you properly," she said, "for believing me, for not thinking you were crazy when you saw a dead woman in your yard." "I saved yourself," I said, "by running to me when you had your chance, by asking for help. That took incredible courage." "I ran to you because I knew," she smiled. "That first week after Chen moved in with me, I saw you watching his house, saw you taking pictures, saw you being suspicious. I knew you were the type of person who pays attention, who doesn't ignore their instincts. So when I had my chance, I ran to you." "I'm glad you did." She reached across the table and squeezed my hand. 7 other women didn't have a Sarah next door. 7 women died because nobody was paying attention. You saved my life because you noticed something was wrong, and you acted. Don't ever stop doing that. I think about that conversation a lot, about the importance of paying attention, of trusting your instincts, of not minding your own business when something feels wrong. Because sometimes the woman in your neighbor's basement is real. Sometimes the monster lives next door. And sometimes the only thing standing between life and death is someone who bothers to look twice.